Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I have an awesome game of Jungle, me playing the Disc Priest. And I do play Disc Priest, but I haven't played Disc Priest in a very long time, so I'm trying to get back in the hang of it. Definitely a little bit rusty, trying to knock off that rust. But here on Black Rook Hold Arena against an Assassination, that's right, Assassination, not Sub. Assassination just got buffed. You're seeing a lot more Sass on ladder, Boomkin, and a Resto Shaman. Here I'm going to kind of walk you through how I'm healing on my Disc Priest, and it's definitely a lot different than how you healed on it in the past. A lot of the healing, I'm not actually playing Trinity this game, I'm playing Death just for the blind, to try to Death blind, but a lot of the healing is actually coming through Atonement if you're doing some offensive penances. And yeah, that's pretty much it. My talent choices are pretty much standard besides that, and right away, throwing out the shield onto my hunter. His name is Kak from Ashel Narub, and we are playing with a Feral Druid named Guardian main. He's not actually Guardian, he's playing Feral. And pretty much in this game, guys, I do want to get fears off of traps if I can, but my major priority is line of sighting, staying out of line of sight so I'm not getting spam CC'd, and keeping up the players that are on my team while continuing to do a little bit of pressure. As you see, I already have a dot on the rogue, I already have a dot onto the druid, and I have the atonement buff onto my partners as well. Now that full blind comes out onto me right away, and this is kind of what I get for pushing in. He does throw out the beam onto me, but there is no root, so I just run right out of that, and so I'm not really sure what that was about, but the full Hex Totem comes out, run out of that as well. Now throwing, right away, this is the Vendetta from the Rogue. Okay, so this is going to be some defensive cooldowns. It's greedy to try to just heal through this. So right away, I wouldn't just try to heal through this. This is going to be a cooldown. It could either be Pain Suppression, it could be my Feral's Trinket Wall, it could be his Bark Skin. I choose to use Rapture and just spam shields onto him. I actually use Rapture and Pain Suppression. Might have used a little bit too much right there. I am throwing a heal on myself as well. Keep in mind, I am playing Vim, which means if I'm at 80% or higher life, I'm doing 20% increased healing. Want to make sure to keep the Vim up onto myself. So I'm throwing myself some heals, throwing a bunch of Shadowmens out. And yeah, I probably didn't need both Rapture and Pain Suppression. Probably just should have used one or the other. So that's kind of my mistake there. Casting a lot of smites. Smite not only gives you that damage, but it gives you the healing because, you heal through your damage, but it also makes the target have a damage absorption. So it's just super good to throw these smites when you can. And I'm really just playing near line of sight, waiting for my partners to really get some CC lined up. Now, the full trap is here, so I could, feather in and probably get a fear off of that trap, and that's maybe what I should have done. I opt to just get a little bit more damage in and play more defensively, which is okay. But after watching this game, I played this game live yesterday, but after watching this game back, if I would have pushed in and went for some type of fear CC chain, we might have been able to force a little bit more defensive cooldowns from the enemy team, and it seemed like we were in an okay spot defensively for me to do that. So that's probably my mistake. Probably not fearing quite as much as I should be, and that's really just because I'm trying to get as comfortable as possible. Now here I'm trying to line of sight the clones from the Boomkin as much as I can. Keep trying to cast clones onto me, set them as my focus target. And right here, I remember this. It was actually kind of annoying. I was like, I thought this was out of line of sight because I'm right behind this little pillar right here, but he still does get that clone on me. I was like, WTF, mate, how did you clone me there? But anyway, sitting that full clone, trying to not take any follow CC after that, but looks like my partners are both fine, and the Assassination and the Boomkin are both really taking it. So here our strategy is to get some type of bash trap or maim trap onto the healer, maybe follow up with a fear, and then just the consistent damage of the Feral and the Marksmanship Hunter are really going to carry. Now, once again, guys, the Kidney Shot, the Vendetta, comes out onto my Druid. He doesn't have Trinket available. He does, it looks like he does have, actually he's Feral, right? So he doesn't have Bark. This is a bug on my party ability bars, I guess. But I throw down the Dome of Light, trying to keep him topped off there. And it looks like that's all the defensive cooldowns we need. So I just throw down that shield around him. Looks like he's going to be okay. And I'm just throwing in some Shadowmens into my Feral Druid. Throwing another shield onto him as well. Once again, I still have fear. Like one big criticism of my own gameplay is I'm probably not going for those fears quite enough. I'm playing very well defensively. But, at some point, if you just push in for a fear, the game probably would have been over. Right here, I could have even feared. I don't know why I didn't fear right on top of him. So Xaryu's gotta learn to fear, bro. I remember back in Mist of Pandaria, I played my Disc Priest or Holy Priest up to around Gladiator rank 1 rating, and my one thing is that I never did very well was getting those fears when I could. Right here, though, guys, I do want to highlight the rogue. I'm off clone DR, haven't been cloned anytime soon. The rogue does have blind available. I have blind on my omnibar, so I know he has blind available, and I'm pushing in to maybe get a fear. But this puts me in a very vulnerable position for stuff like blind, something like bash. He's not playing Root Beam, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm just gonna throw out the Shadow Word Death, and I do catch the blind there. Get the half fear onto the druid or the shaman as well off of that, and he does throw down the Spirit Link, Ascendance, and it looks like they're gonna be okay for now. But that was a lot of pressure. I'm just gonna rewind that just so you guys can really see that in real time. I'm running in to get CC. I know the rogue has blind. Okay, I'm not on clone DR. They want to set something up. He's not coming to me to blind me. It's going to be too obvious, so I can death it. But if I'm running in, I know he wants that blind. Throw out the death the blind, fear the shaman, and we're getting a lot of defensive cooldowns here. We're getting Ascendance and Link. So that's just a quick little how did you have the foresight? How did you have the premonition to premonition that blind there? For those of you that don't know, I still call it death for Shadow Word Death, even though it is called premonition nowadays. And for those of you that don't really know what just happened, premonition actually hurts yourself on a delay. So for something like a polymorph or a blind that breaks on damage, you just boom, you just break the CC if you know that it's coming. Now he does cast the Entangling Roots into the beam on me. My Druid is in so much trouble. The full moon connects, and my Druid does get full kidney shot with Vendetta. Now this is going to be some cooldowns. Since I don't need to save Trinket for blind anymore, I just throw out my Trinkets and throw out a shield, grip. My Feral does wall, and I'm throwing as many Shadowmens out as I can. One key thing to note here, guys, is that Disc Priests don't need to Fate Cast very often at all. Okay, so Fate Casting is very prevalent right now in the game, but with something like Clarity and Shadowmen both being available, just cast Shadowmens. If you get kicked, great. Cast a Shield, cast a Penance, cast a Clarity, and then cast a Shadowman again because your lockout's over. Okay, just cast a Penance. Don't Fate Cast Penance. If you get kicked on Penance, boom, start spamming Shadowmens because now they don't have a kick available, okay? Now, this isn't always the case, but this is one big mistake I see a lot of Disc Priests make, is that they're just trying to Fate Cast way too much. Guys, you have two schools. You have Shadow Healing and you have Holy Healing, okay? So do not be afraid to just spam out those casts. If you get kicked, no big deal. Now, that full moon connects. It does come out, throwing out the heals, staying max range. I do have fear available. I'm really not getting much use out of that. I'm just kind of staying back. Atonement healing. That was an offensive penance onto the rogue, but I do have the atonements onto the hunter, atonements onto the feral, so it's keeping them topped off. Now a couple Shadowmens coming out as well. They don't have blind. They don't have Root Beam because he is playing bash, so we're kind of just hanging out, throwing out some damage. My feral does get cloned. Master Spell, that Cyclone, he does get cloned again. Pretty much is playing very defensive. Line of sighting. The Light's Wrath almost goes off. If that would have went off, I think the rogue pretty much would have died right there. A couple more offensive penance ticks. Keeping the my dot. I don't even know what it's called now. Holy Fire. Holy Fire dot out onto pretty much everything. And right here, they are all stacked up. I do throw a couple feathers down, and I do go for that triple fear. So there was one good fear there. It looks like the fear was actually DR'd there onto the shaman. Even though it showed that it was full, it was a very, very short fear. And pretty much at this point, guys, everything on the enemy team is rotting. We get that full bash trap off of the fear as well. Now the skin coming out. Now they do blind the feral druid. This is a defensive blind, so they blind the feral druid. They shear me. They clone my hunter. Just triple CC. They're doing anything they can to survive in this moment. And what I can do is just continuing pressure, continuing throwing out my holy fires, my Light's Wrath, offensive penancing. And this is where priests really shine, guys. Is all of this offensive pressure. I have offensive fears, offensive burst. Not playing Dark Archangel, but I maybe even could be here in this matchup. And now he throws out the Vendetta. This is where we start playing back you can immediately see my position change as they're using their offensive cooldowns. When they're on the back foot, I can push in, I can get those fears, can continue to damage. As soon as they start using their offensive cooldowns, you know, maybe Incarn, maybe Vendetta, that's what you want to keep an eye out for. We're going to play back, put myself in a spot where, a position where I cannot really BCC'd, or if I am going to BCC'd, it's very obvious. Now they're playing back as a team. This should pretty much spell out the end of the game. Once again, their offensive cooldowns are over. They're on the back foot. We really have the opportunity now to push in triple dots. If I, you know, any type of CC, and the Boomkin does just go down. So this game was a very, very defensive game here on my Disc Priest, and I find that when I'm playing jungle, a lot of my games actually can be pretty defensive. You know, when I'm playing RMP, you know, really want to run in, get that triple CC, you know, cheap shot, sheep, kidney, fear, like really get that triple CC. When I'm playing jungle, I can pretty much sit back, let my Feral and my Hunter really continue to just pump out the damage, and then just get the fears when we have that momentum. Having said that, I think one of my biggest criticisms of my own gameplay, specifically this game, but just in general, is I need to get those fears more often when I can slide them in between my healing rotations. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this Disc Priest gameplay, a little bit different from the normal. I've been posting like my Mage, my Rogue, I think my Shaman, maybe some Boomkin, but here is some Disc Priest. Guys, if you like this Disc Priest gameplay, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like that Death Blind, that was pretty nice here in this match, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs it down. Talk to me in the comments about what you guys want to see for next time, what classes, what specs, what type of gameplay, what type of arena, and I'll be sure to upload what you guys want to see. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.